All right, welcome back. We're gonna do a pit preview, or not pit review. The pit tournament, the um, Princeton Invitational happened this weekend. We got to broadcast it, and yeah, it was a pretty solid tournament. I thought it was just from the outside perspective. I've never seen that tournament before, and yeah, I think it lived up to the hype. There's a lot of top ranked matchups in the finals, a lot of potential state finals matchups. So tonight I'm joined by Jim Mastney and Jason Benish, assistant coach at Oregon High School. And Jim is just all around fan of wrestling, right?
That's it.
Yep. So welcome, guys. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. Good.
I'm doing
Uh,
good.
Busy weekend of wrestling. I don't. We won't jump. Let's not jump right into the pit yet because that's our main thing. I know Oregon was in polo, right? Oregon went to the polo
Yep.
invitational
Oregon
tournament.
went to polo. Yep.
Let's talk about that a minute.
So they went to polo. I think they had three champs. Um, maybe not as stiff as competition. That's probably down at the pit, but obviously some good wrestling went on. Had some guys that wrestled in different weight classes that normally aren't in that lineup that did pretty well, like a Boone Aldrich stepped up and won a pretty good match. And then, some kids kind of didn't do as good as they probably should have, but, they're still working hard and going to keep
Yeah.
moving forward. So,
I
Yeah,
kind of put you on the spot here. Yeah, champions are Josiah Perez, Boone, and Nelson Benish.
yep, yep.
All right.
and you guys didn't send everybody there. You only sent a few people, right? Like
Well,
you might have sent a full lineup, but you like some of the starters had match count stuff,
yeah,
right?
match count and things like that. And we're just letting some kids take a little bit of a break and,
Yeah.
just kind of the grind of
Well, I the
January.
reason yeah, and the reason why I was asking because I know I'm some coaches. I don't know if they know that they can send a couple kids to a different tournament and not send them everybody. The new rules kind of open the doors up so that you can kind of mess around with the schedule, get kids matches consistently throughout the year. I just think sometimes people aren't looking for the opportunity to send a couple extra kids to another tournament throughout the year or whatever. So I like that you guys were. It seemed like
Yeah,
you were thinking outside the box a little bit.
yeah, we were able to get a couple kids in. Like Friday, um, we were on the fence. Layman reached out to him, and we were able to get a couple more kids in. It's like, hey, let's wrestle. That's what we're here for. So we are able to get them in and had some good matches, and
Yeah.
that's what they want to do is compete.
Yeah, and Nelson wrestled the kid from Polo. It
Correct.
was another rematch. He won that. And Eckberg at 26 won it from North Boone. Um, so that was another match. I should have put those finals up. I did not look at the complete weight class breakdown, but yeah, solid stuff from the week. Who else wrestled? Sycamore tournament was going on. I know a couple of local teams. Rochelle was there, um, and let me see who who wrestled there. I know Rochelle was there. Um,
Who was all at the polo invitational, Jason? I don't even obviously
Man,
polo.
I wasn't there either. That's the
Okay.
problem with it. I don't know exactly Lyle, Polo, like a West Carroll, Oregon, obviously. Um, Fulton was there. Fulton came in second as a team. I'm not certain on the lineup. I don't have any of that in front of me. I apologize.
yeah.
No, and we put Jason. We got him like literally said, "Hey, here comes an email. Log on."
Yeah,
Yeah, well, this is a great way to break them into the podcast. Yeah, I mean it's not very informal. We're just talking wrestling in the area, so
Yeah.
um, yeah. So
Well,
that was about it. I mean, the pit tournament was the premier tournament, so
mhm.
we should probably get into it, Jim.
let me talk about our three good duels because those are big. A couple big wins there.
True. I mean, yep, we
Um,
can talk about that.
Marion over Antioch, 50-19, pretty decisive win. But then Marion Central over Mount Carmel, Marion over Joliet Catholic. That's if you're a 1A guy, you gotta like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty impressed that they won both of those matchups, especially after didn't Mount Carmel just beat Marmion?
I don't remember what happened at the CCL. I already have something else pulled up on track, so I don't want to back myself out.
Yeah, I don't
But
know if
I don't.
Marmion's full lineup was there, but still, I mean, they beat them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, as far as lineups go, we know obviously Lucas Foster is still out of lineup for Joliet Catholic, but our 30. So Andrew Alvarado, like precautionary sitting out, bumped his head Friday night against Antioch, so he wasn't there. And then our Nick Astacio still out till later this month. So we're giving up 2 forfeits at every duel up until we're not.
Yeah.
Mount Carmel had a full lineup, though, I do believe.
Hearing that is that's awesome, and it makes me think about like a Vandalia team. Like they won the Abe's tournament, and that's 1A wrestling that they beat Marion. I know Marion doesn't have a full lineup and whatnot. I don't know how much that changes, but man, there's some good 1A wrestling, and some good teams, and it's pretty exciting in my opinion.
Oh,
to
yeah.
see stuff like that. So that's great.
Yeah, Mount Carmel beat Marmion in the CCL duels, 42-24.
Oh, wow.
So let me look. I mean, Garcia wrestled. 4 26. Nobody at 20.
Oh, another big win over the week.
Oh,
While you're
Aiden.
Googling
Yeah,
that, Munaretto bumped up and beat Garcia, who we lost to in the state finals last year. So Munaretto bumped up from 20 to 26 and wrestled Garcia, beat him in a third or fourth overtime escape. 10-9 match. Which is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big one, big
Pretty-
win. Cool that
Yeah.
they matched them up. I like that. But yeah,
Well,
it was eventful. But tonight, I think we should refocus.
all
Get
right,
back
here
to
we
the
go.
pit. All right.
Yep.
The
To the
pit
pit.
was the premier event. I think there was a lot of stuff going on, but this one was pretty interesting. Should we start at 106? I think.
I better.
Yeah, this is your weight class, Jim. Take it over and tell us what happened.
Landon Near wins it. Meets Leland Nelson, who we didn't even have him ranked in the beginning, and he started beating a couple kids. And
Yeah.
so Landon Near over Leland Nelson in the finals, 4-0 match. I'm assuming you saw that one, Jason.
Yeah. Yep. I seen that match. It was a good match. That Near he's banging, he's moving, he's pounding the head, he's aggressive. And then you have Leland, who's he's controlling an elbow and he's trying to get in to take them shots. And Near was the aggressor the whole time, really trying to get to work on top. Never really got in on top. Was shooting singles quite a bit, but he was the aggressor. Near was working hard and trying to do things. Just didn't really put much together on top, but on his feet he was shooting and going after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Near looked good. He looked confident and like he said, very aggressive the whole match. So Near lost to Raiden Terry, who is the number 1 ranked kid. So I mean, this is a little separation between the top 2 and some others. I mean, 4-0 is definitely a winnable match, but it looked like Near was the physically dominant
Yeah, he
wrestler.
controlled the match.
Was it a takedown and an escape, or was it a reversal into what was? Yeah, it has to be a takedown and an escape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So 106, Landon Near wins it. Leland Nelson second. Colton Drinkwine third. Stephen Newton fourth. Aiden Evans fifth. Brandon Gaithier sixth. Coit Raidmaker seventh, and Nate Lauer at eighth.
Yep. And let me look up while
So
we're
Seneca's
talking
not
about
there,
it.
obviously. So we don't
No, they weren't.
see Terry and we don't see Terry and Near there because Seneca's not there.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pull up our rankings for 103 or 106 1A, and see if anything changes in that. I mean, obviously we'll address that in the ranking show, but oh yeah. So Terry near Leland Nelson was above Aiden Evans, and Gaither was behind Evans. So I think that's about it. Yeah, nothing. I think our rankings were pretty accurate.
Yeah, I think 1A 106 is. I mean, I think we spent a lot of time on it, so I think 1A 106 is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I know you said Boone didn't rest, or who wasn't at 106 at the polo tournament? Was that
Jordan
Jordan?
Lord, 106. Yeah, he's
All right.
106.
All right.
Yeah.
How'd he do? Did he have a good tournament, or you?
I don't know if he placed or not at that tournament.
Have we seen Lowe versus Panarel? Have they wrestled Stillman Valley? Have you guys wrestled?
Yes,
Stillman?
they wrestled. They wrestled at we wrestled them, dueled them, and then I believe they might have wrestled at Richmond Burton tournament as well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we'll see how that weight class turns out. So Pitt, that's how it finished out 13. Let's move on to 13. Philpott beats Eimer in the finals. Owen Peters,
8-3.
8-3. Pretty, again, that Eimer's tough, but Philpott just looks like he just looks physically bigger. Like it just looked it looked like even no matter what Eimer did, it was just like hard to stop the size. But Eimer made a pretty good attempt towards the end to kind of get back into the match, but Philpott got the takedown and kind of shut it down. But I was very surprised with Eimer's ability to stay in the match all 3 periods, even though like while I'm watching it, I was kind of like, oh, Philpott looks like he's dominating. So yeah, I don't know how that match went with Augie. Jim, what did Philpott? That was a one like a takedown match, right?
Yeah, it ended up being. Oh, I don't remember. I don't even know if it was that. I think it was closer than that. I think it was an escape point match.
Yeah. So Eimer takes second. Owen Peterson of Coal City takes third. Jack Reagan from Dixon takes fourth. Brandon White takes fifth from Dakota. Again, another couple kids from the area, Dixon, Jack Reagan. Right now, where do we have him at 13?
Jack Reagan's 2A, so he'd be.
Oh, okay, 2A. I got to pull that up. I forget. Again, for some reason, like I feel like Dixon has switched 1A, 2A back and forth.
Yeah, they're right on the fence. I think they have like 20 kids like over enrollment for that 1A, 2A. Like they're right there.
Yeah.
I think it's Plano single A now, but they're double A now, but they are like right on the fence as well with that enrollment number. So I wouldn't, year or two, you never know what's going to happen with if they're going to be dropping down or what. But I think they're just barely hanging on in 2A with that school size. Yeah.
But Brandon White, that's a good, I guess, good comeback. I mean, he was at the Dvorak. He didn't do too hot, but he's currently 8th ranked wrestler at 113 in single A. Owen Peterson was number 6. Philpott 1. Eimer was 3. So again, I feel like our rankings are proving there. Nothing's changing on that one. Josiah Perez from Oregon. He's right now currently at number 9. So that would have been a good tournament to see him at because he would have got to really get some of these. Who is the? I would assume we would have seen this, but he hasn't wrestled one of the ranked wrestlers above him yet. So
I think Oregon guys are working their way back into the Pitt tournament. I heard there was a Oregon guy that won the 50-50, gave it back to the club.
Yeah, he did.
I've heard some rumors.
Yeah. Never know. Well, get Steve going. Steve Amy, he's the man.
Yeah, well, my request would be to move the Pitt tournament to the Blackhawk Center where the building is not a problem because I don't want to get too far into it. I'm having Coach Amy on the podcast tomorrow, but you can't have 6 mats in there. It's
It's congested. It's hard to see, but I mean,
yeah.
they make
well
it
not
work.
to see. I just don't think you can't wrestle on the edge.
Yeah,
It's
with
just
the
Right.
out of bounds, with the college,
Yeah.
we called them college rules before. Now with the out of bounds wrestling, you can't do that,
Yeah.
man. You can't do it there.
Yeah, and there was too many people walking on the mats during matches. It was pretty wild. I started watching some of the earlier rounds. I'm like, this is not good.
Yeah.
But I love the tournament. Wish it was at a bigger facility. So that was 113, pretty solid. I think our rankings proved to be accurate. Going into 120, another good. This one was a good one. Preston Waddle versus Logan Roberts from
Tech Fall in the
Warrensburg.
finals.
Yeah, Tech Fall.
Yeah.
Preston Waddle. Yeah, he's tough, man.
Yeah, he's a busybody, man. He stays working out there the whole time. He's looking for the next thing all the time. He's not afraid to commit to something either. He looked really good.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a clear separation. I mean, I did not get to watch the Waddle Tennyson match, but I'm looking forward to the next time I get to see it. So.
Oh yeah, he's thinking about it all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's right. 120. I was gonna say that's the I thought we were at 26 already. Mason Swartz, that's the Oakwood kid that had that 4-0 match with Tennyson down at Abe's. He beats Adam Glauser 7-0. That's Glauser's an IKWF state champ.
And where's he from?
Richmond.
Yeah, and Swartz. So Roberts was number 5. Swartz was number 7. So again, I mean, this tournament was filled with top 10, and again, you kind of wish you'd see some shakeup, but so far everybody is kind of wrestling to their seed. Now, the other caveat, Augustus Swanson from Princeton got 6th place at 120 pounds, and we had him at 113. So from what I heard, Augustus Swanson is now at 120 pounds for the rest of the season. So that will change some stuff, but doesn't look like too much. But Barrett Speck, that was the guy that you were talking about, Jim.
Yeah, Illini Bluff kid. He's tough.
Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then Cullen Lidmuth from Coal City. He placed 8th there. Yeah. Coal City, Cullen Lindenmuth.
Yep.
Lindenmuth.
Yep, Lindenmuth. He got 8th place. Yep.
So now Swartz and Glauser, they're both freshmen. I don't know if that means anything, but a couple young dudes doing well.
Yeah. Well, speaking of what I was going to say about the rankings, though, Lindenmuth and Moore, we're going to have to switch those because Moore was 9 and Lindenmuth was 8. So I think that's a switch.
Yeah, 8-5 match.
Yeah.
Moore over Lindenmuth, 8-5.
Yeah, this bracket was so far the most depth right now.
20?
Looks like it. Yeah, looks like it's got the most ranked.
Yeah, because there's a couple of them where you knew who was going to meet in the finals, right? And there was a couple of those brackets where not every bracket's super deep, obviously, right? But 20 was super deep.
Yeah. All right, moving on. 126. Tyson Waddle defeats Cooper Morris in the finals, 11-5 from Coal City. Vandalia, Tyson Waddle. I don't know if I would say I was disappointed or just he did not look as good as his brother. He just didn't get as much offense going. Cooper Morris held his ground, so I guess you give credit to him for keeping the match closer. But
I didn't see it. What did it look like? Was it?
Well, they wrestled at Abe's, okay, and he beat him by like 14 there, and Coal City kid's closing the gap a little bit. He didn't back down, but I will say that Waddle was he was working hard. He was going after it. I think he maybe had in the back of his mind team points and things like that. And he went out there and it never really all came together. And that Coal City he stuck his ground, and he kind of closed the gap a little bit from the last match. He's a good wrestler, you know what I mean? But yeah, Waddle wasn't as impressive the first time I watched him against him. And I don't know if, the
Adjustments being
atmosphere.
made on Coal City's part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably give Cooper Morris the credit for making the adjustments. I mean, he just kept wrestling. And again, even as I look over, I'm watching a little bit of the highlights. I think Waddle stayed on top a little bit longer than maybe he would have. Spent a lot of time in a front headlock position. And then Cooper Morris, he got a takedown on the edge of the mat. Again, one of those spots where I don't know how they kept wrestling because they haven't wrestled on the edge for most of the place. But
what was the order in the finals matches? They were just like
not. Well, Steve drew him. He kind of did something different, and I don't know if it was like a highlight, like how he laid it out for like a better matchup towards the end or what. Mm-hmm. But they just started out kind of random through there.
Is that a new thing, or is that something they've done before?
No, because remember last week, Nelson Baker was telling us he didn't know he was going to be the last match of the tournament. Because remember, they made him and Albert like a feature match way back when.
Yeah, but like what I said, I think at the pit, historically, they have like arranged the matches out of order. I'm going to find out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain on that. I just got the paperwork and said, this is what we're doing. And it was I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was random or if it wasn't random. You know what I mean?
All I know is it made it harder for me because I was trying to type in the score clock and stuff. And I was like, all right, who's up now? I messed it up a couple of times, but the operator wasn't good. Third place, Landon Lage. How do you Lage? How do you pronounce it? Lage.
I'd go leg.
Leg?
Yeah.
Landon Leg of Gibson City. Zyler Henson from Sterling Newman, fourth place. Clayton Medulla from Richmond Burton, fifth. Nick Litchfield of Monticello, sixth. Josiah Tarbill, seventh. And Damian Palacios from Byron in eighth place. Where are we at? We are at 26. Okay, so yeah. Tarbill, Henson, Medulla, all ranked guys. Gibson City, is that single A? We're gonna have to add this guy. We're gonna have to add him. He's missing from the rankings, and he shows up and gets third place.
Yeah.
Gibson City.
Who'd he beat to do this? He beat
Henson, Zyler Henson, and he had to have beaten Tarbill or
Medulla.
Yeah.
Right.
To get there, sure. I'll look it up real quick.
Zyler Hanson's a tough kid too, man. I don't know that he's. I don't know if he's not a big 26, put it that way, but he's a tough kid.
I can't look it up. It's not. Oh, there it is. All right. Brackets 126. So he beat Medulla 9-3 in the quarters.
Okay.
And then he lost to Cooper Morris. And then in the wrestlebacks, he beat Litchfield. And then he beats Henson 7-4. So, yep, he's earned his way in.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll have to figure out how to pronounce his last name. I mean, I've just removed the L, age, so Lage.
Yeah.
Landon Lage. Was it consonant vowel?
Where's Gibson City located?
I think it's southwest.
It's not. I think you go through it on the way to Champaign. If you go through, does that sound right?
I think it does actually sound right.
It's the other side of like. Damn, I don't remember any of those towns out there. It'll come to me. What's the town with like the Nor? It'll come to me. It's got like a like a spaceship or like a rocket in there.
It's east of Bloomington Normal. So it's
east of Bloomington. Okay. So it's like
Yeah,
Leroy and things like that down there.
it's north of Muhammad. So literally, like if you were taking 57 south to Champaign, you would run it into it.
Okay.
It's close
So
to
it's-
Rantoul, next to Rantoul and Muhammad Seymour.
Rantoul. There's another town right there that starts with an N. What is it?
An
Gonna drive
N?
me nuts. Yep, right next to Rantoul, right outside of Rantoul. What is it?
Right, with an N?
Yep. And it's a railroad town because the old IC runs through all that. They run through the Gibson City. That's how I know what it is.
Melvin, Paxton, Hoopston,
Norga,
Milford.
Noga.
Oh, it's Onarga.
Onarga.
There you go.
Onarga. These
There
are
you
the
go.
towns. These are the towns, Jason, from this this song. The town. The town. What is it? I don't even know the New Orleans song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riding
Yeah.
on the train.
Yeah, these are all the towns they run through.
No,
Yeah.
I thought it was Kankakee.
That's two.
That might be one of them, yeah.
That's one of them. There's a dime in there. That's why they're talking about. You could feel because it did different railroad crosses there, so you could feel it.
Really?
Yep.
Learn something new every day. All right, let's jump into 132, Jim. You break this one down. This is
Where's
this is-
Stewie? Stewie, where are you?
yes,
Yeah.
Stewie, you're not here. I knew he was definitely pumped about this one, but
Okay, this is one I watched because I watched it off your link. Brandon Green, Junior Green, pretty dominant match, right? I mean, like he wasn't afraid of getting a shot stuffed. He wasn't afraid of anything. He went out there and wrestled hard. Green over Wainwright, and I saw a little, I won't even call it bickering. I just saw a little bit of like discussion between his coach would be Heath Smith, Blake Smith's dad, and Mark on the internet. And they just said, hey, we know what we have to work on and we're going to work on it. You know?
Yeah.
So what else can you say? I mean, that's a good answer, right? That's best. Obviously, Coal City did it with Cooper Morris and Tyson Waddle, right? So, I mean, it closed the gap.
yeah, I mean, these guys are at the point where you just have to respond and try to close the gap. I was really impressed with, the power that Brandon Green showed to have. Like he not only blast doubled him a couple times to get the takedown, but his lift and returns were, I mean, high level. Like he put him up, he put him down multiple times. Like that was just a really high level, like wrestling on top. I mean, he didn't let him stand up and try to move around. He just lifted him up, put him right back down. I was pretty impressed with that. And then obviously on the edge, that whole scramble that ended up in the pin. Yeah, I mean, obviously, does that happen again? Maybe not. But
that front headlock series was awful tight. You know, them Green Boys can run that front headlock. They get that tight. They keep it. There's a lot of pressure there, and
yeah,
I think that it happened throughout the whole match, and he was looking to get out from underneath that. He sat through, and Brandon, I don't know if he baited him into it, but he just stepped over and right on the edge of the mat, and it was done there on the edge. The coaches were pretty upset with some of them slams. They were barking at the refs a little bit there, but
with the mat returns,
yeah, with the mat returns, and they were clean, but he put the hips in and he lifted him. You know what I mean? Yeah. He took him for a ride. He wasn't going to just put him down lightly, but he did it correctly. His knee was down first, but it just looked very aggressive, you know, when the feet come up. So
really,
Jason himself kind of an OG Roxanna fan too.
Well, I mean, being aggressive it's key. You know what I mean? It is key. You're out there for 6 minutes and get after it. You know, you can't take that away from him. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure he's probably battled with a brother a little bit, and he knows because you gotta get after it. So,
yeah. No, these Junior's tough, man. He's tough, and he showed it. All right, that's my way. That's his weight class, right?
Yep.
I see. I do see the one
the first one. Yeah, it was over by the coaches. They were jaw jacking with the ref, and the ref's
Yeah,
like, it was good, and it was not.
It wasn't perfect, but yeah, it was on the. But again, I mean, I think at that point you gotta be wrestling. I don't think I've ever gotten slammed like that, but yeah, it was tough.
Well, it's either you lift him or you don't, and he lifted him.
Yeah. So Brandon Green moves to the number 1 ranked kid in the state. Kane Dauber gets 3rd from Princeton.
Freshman.
Yeah, and Kane Dauber was we had him listed at 26. So is he still? I mean, this is gonna.
I think he's staying at 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get a hold of Noonan and double, triple check, but you can ask Steve. I'm sure Steve will tell you. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'll ask him tomorrow. Luke Munsterman of Coal City gets 4th place. Zach Bryan of Petersburg Porter gets 5th. Brody Matthews of Vandalia 6th. Landon Blanton 7th. Nolan Lowe of Gibson City 8th.
Gibson City kids coming on strong, huh?
Yeah.
Let me go off on a little thing here, and I'm gonna ask Jason about it. I guess how come Landon Blanton didn't have a better tournament? Like I know how good he is.
Yeah, I didn't really. I watched a couple of his matches, and in that Newman room, they've got some good. They've got good coaches, and they got a lot of good wrestlers. You know what I mean? And I don't. Landon Blanton is a very good wrestler. I don't know if he's reverting back to some of the things that he had used in the past, and maybe not opening up a little bit to what they use more at Newman. But he's a go-getter. I mean, he's going to attack. It's just I didn't really see him from last year changing his style. Not that he has to totally change his style, but you have to evolve a little bit with it.
Yep.
And I know he's in the right place for that, but I think he's going to have to really get after, open up and going after some different attacks.
I've seen him flow in the wrestling room here, right? And then then you put a singlet on him, and it's like, hey, whoa, yeah. Get back to being good, Landon. You're super good. Get back to being good again. He's out in real life. He's pretty small, 32, compared to those guys at least.
I don't know if
he's not super small, but I mean,
well, again, looking at the bracket, I mean, he gets beat by Brandon Green, and then he gets in the wrestlebacks and he loses a 5-2 match to Matthews from Vandalia. So I mean,
I know. I
he's
just
right
thought
there.
He'd be.
Yeah.
I thought he'd. I don't know. I just because I'm such a fan of him, I guess I expected better results, and I just sound. I don't. It doesn't. If it doesn't sound bad, it's not supposed to.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he feels the same way. You know what I mean? I'm sure.
And he was Sunday, the day after this practice, he's at Relentless, 2 hours from home, and then he's in the shed here for 2 hours after that practice. I mean, like he's righting the wrong, and he's good. He's really good. I think hopefully
I want to see him and Dauber. Yeah, I think him and Dauber would be good. Good match to kind of preview. But
here's what I think Landon and
now this weekend. Keep going. Sorry.
Landon and Nelson Benish make it real hard on a couple of kids come sectional.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. So this weekend, we will see Landon Blanton versus Nelson Benish. Assuming that everything comes to the, everybody wrestles their lineup at the weights that they're at, then Nelson Benish, Landon Blanton happens this weekend.
Yeah, because you have Byron doesn't have a 32 pounder that's gonna. Byron doesn't have a game 32 pounder. Who else you have? Rock Ridge.
Yeah.
Who's their 32 pounder? The only kid I know from Rock Ridge is Jude Finch.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll see the lineup. Yeah. I don't know how much. I looked through the bracket to kind of see, but I did know that at Oregon, they're Newman will be there, so that could be a featured match,
right?
Yeah. But didn't Blanton certify at 26?
I don't really know if I can look at this.
I'm pretty certain he did.
We talked about this because Zeiler. I was looking yesterday. I'm like, I said, all right. So yesterday, Augie and Zeiler are wrestling out here, and it's like, Augie's a little bit bigger than Zeiler, and Augie's our 13 pounder.
Right.
And that when I say bigger, I mean I don't know. You're just looking at kids; they look bigger. But I don't know. Maybe they change things up. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, either way, it could be better for the team him going down, or I don't know. I'm sure they have a plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still don't know. I haven't checked into this, but I don't know I don't think we can outside look at like
What they
certification
certified
stuff.
at?
Well, you can just see if they made weight at 26, right? Can't you?
Yeah, but does that necessarily mean what if their certification date isn't until, January 30th or something?
When
Is there a date?
is that over already or no? When are
No,
certification dates?
I think there's no limit on the certification date. It's a
Is there-
percentage.
Who's making a weight though, like for that? If it's not like certification, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
What
don't
would be
know. You're right. I mean, I have no idea why somebody would do it, but either way,
Well, you go out there, you test the waters, and you realize, okay,
let me look real quick.
this water's deep. I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
back
but
to
I'm saying, if you get down to 26, you're gonna keep that in your back pocket, whether you do or not. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
I
he
got
has to
you. Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
certified in it. If you made
Yeah.
that weight, you're certified.
Yeah, we're looking at Henson.
Zyler Henson.
Yeah.
All right.
Because remember, they don't.
He has wrestled 26 like a lot of the year.
No 20 at all. Because remember, Newman didn't have a 20-pounder. I thought.
No 20. He has not weighed in at 120. Not once.
Brody
So.
Ivy, if you're listening.
Yep. And if I look at, yeah, let me see. And the same goes for Landon Blanton. He has not wrestled 126 at all either. He wrestled 138 against Polo. So
maybe he's just 32, which
yeah.
I just thought he looked little yesterday. I don't know. I didn't know what he looked like at a tournament.
Well, Jim, you're a big guy, Everybody.
Yeah, and he wrestled Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He's probably wore down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into 138. Jude Finch beats Jeremy Eggleston from Reed Custer. So Taylor Rockridge, Jude Finch, Eggleston, Custer.
Major in the finals.
Yeah, this was pretty clear cut. Jude Finch he's a returning state champ, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's the one who he lost to Vance in the sectionals and beat him in the state finals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he looked pretty solid. Pedro Rangel of Oakwood gets third. Charlie Connors of Dixon gets fourth. Cole Yarborough of Vandalia fifth. Chase Stedman of Tremont sixth. Rodriguez of Coal City seventh. Tolliver of Chillicothe eighth. Yeah, good performance for Charlie Connors, freshman from Dixon. He's in the area. Everybody in the area knows Charlie. And
he's pretty himself though. He beat that kid 7-3, and now it flip flopped. He beat him 3-7. So he was pretty upset in that third, fourth place match. But it's the way it goes. You gotta get after it and wrestle, and he'll get better and keep working hard. So
yeah, I agree. I think he'll be all right. Yeah, anything stand out from this weight class, you guys? Eggleston was the fifth ranked kid. Yarborough was seventh. Yeah, this is Jude Finch. Where was Widlowski?
He was. I seen him walk around in his tennis shoes. I don't know if he was banged up or what he had going on. I did see him at the tournament. I didn't.
Okay, so he didn't wrestle at a different weight class or anything like that. Okay.
I don't think so. No, I think he's. I don't know if wasn't feeling the match count or what it was. So
yeah. Well, we hear well, obviously he wasn't sick, because if he was sick, why would he be there? But
right, exactly.
Maybe he's trying to give. He's trying to spread the virus.
That I'll tell you what, like 38. Here's what I see that we're kind of, and I know not every 1A team is here, but the common denominator is every bracket we go through here, you're seeing a Vandalia and a Coal City kid, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're in every damn bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
and even this Coal City kid might not even be the starter,
Right.
which is pretty impressive that he just shows up. Again, that's a testament to the program. If you have a kid that can jump in and plays at a good tournament, chances are you're going to be a good team because
You got some depth there.
yeah, you got depth. You got kids working hard at all levels, even at if they're lower level kids, they're still ready to compete. And yeah, that's a testament to the programs. They're doing great. Like you said earlier, Vandalia beats Marion. Marion beats Mount Carmel and JCA.
Right.
I mean, that's really leveling the playing field. Single A is something to be talked about right now. So.
Yep.
This is a good one. 144. Emmett Nelson of Richmond Burton defeats Ace Christensen of Princeton, 22-14. A lot of points.
Yeah.
For a little while, it was going back and forth. I didn't know what was going to happen.
It was to me, it was a little out of control. But I will say, I really like that Ace Christensen's drive. Like Steve Amy, with that, he's got a few of them guys that are just dogs. Like they just go, 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 go. And I don't know, Leland Nelson, or not Leland, Emmett Nelson's dad. He was like, "Stop it! What are you doing? Calm down!" And just like, and he's taking him down, cutting him, and then going after him again. And they were going at it pretty hard. But you can't really take that Ace lightly. I mean, he can do some damage if he gets himself in the right spot, and he's not going to quit. So it was wild. And I don't know, if they have beef or what. He wanted to take him down and let him up, but a few times it didn't work in his favor. And I think his dad was getting frustrated with what he was doing there. So
yeah, was it I don't know, second period he gets taken, he lets him up, gets his guy takes him down straight to his back, which was just a crazy sequence. But I just thought that even through the kind of the mistakes that Emmett Nelson just kept fighting through, and just he looked really good. So
yeah,
I thought even though it looked like Emmett was doing a little bit of not very productive match strategy, I thought it just showed how capable he is to score points in bunches. And the closer I look at that, it's like I want to see that Caden Inman versus Emmett Nelson match. I want to see the Cooper Quarter match. That's another one.
Yeah, the sandwich kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Ace Christensen was the 4 seed or the 4 ranked kid. Emmett Nelson's sitting at number 2. So Inman and Quarter were not there. But yeah, I mean, sectionals is going to be interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's going to be some fireworks.
Yeah, you got Nelson, Quarter, Christensen, and Harrison Bauer.
Did you ever watch Quarter's brother wrestle last year? Cooper Quarter's brother?
No, I just saw Cooper. I don't. What weight was his brother at?
I believe he was at 150, but he was like, he would come out and he would. I don't know if this was something he was like playing a scene or what, but he would look just exhausted, and it would come through, and he would just win some matches, and it was crazy to watch. I mean, he had long hair, and he'd flail it back, and he'd get in positions and come out on top, and it's like, wow, very unorthodox, but I think he did fairly well. His brother's pretty good wrestler, though.
So was he a senior? How old?
Yeah, he was. I believe he was a senior. Yeah, last year.
I got you. I just remember last year Cooper Quarter stood out to me. He won. Didn't he beat Alvarado?
I don't know. He's the one that got internet famous for getting punched. Remember?
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not recognize that. That's funny.
What did he wrestle last year? Was he?
I think he was 38. He was Alvarado got beat, and then he beat the kid that Alvarado got beat by, I think. But yeah. After that, third place was Preston Richards from Dixon. Fourth place, Aiden Kinney from Coal City. Fifth, Logan Riggs, Roxana. Sixth, Charlie Whitmer of Warrensburg, Latham. Seventh place, Mike Miner of Petersburg. Eighth is Kisner from Stanford. So,
See, that's another one that I guess, just looking at the names, we won't say it was super deep, right? You had your
yeah.
clear,
Yeah.
like as far as ranked kids go. I mean,
Yeah,
Preston
top
Richards,
two.
not taking nothing from him. I'm looking at 180, 144 rankings.
Well, he'd be
Uh,
2A anyway.
Yeah.
He's from
We
Dixon.
have
Yeah.
Cole, but there you go, another Coal City kid. He's
Yeah.
in there. He's in the mix.
Yeah.
And he's losing 4-3 to Preston Richards. So,
well, Whitmer, so Whitmer takes sixth place, but Ace Christensen only beats him 12-10 in the semis. So
did you see that one, Jason, or no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What happened there?
Just kind of going like a wild man, and gets in bad position. But it's like watching a car accident. You can't help but watch it. I mean, he goes, and it's not from lack of trying, but maybe slowing down, doing things a little bit different, But the kid puts his head down and he goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to look more into this Charlie Whitmer. He injury defaults after he loses in the semifinal wrestleback to Richards. So we'll see how that weight class kind of turns out. But yeah, you're right. This was kind of a, not as deep as some of the previous ones. 150 though, Jackson Carroll of Illini Bluffs beats Dylan Hinton of Vandalia in the finals 9-1. Yeah, Jackson Carroll looked, I want to say, bored. He just did not look. He looked like he was winning every position and he wasn't going to lose, but he just was not trying to. If I was his coach, I'd say try to score points, man, beat people up. But maybe
Jackson, he's our number one guy at 150, returning state placer.
Yep.
And he's so good. Who's our number 2 at 150?
2 was Vance Williams.
Okay.
Dylan Hinton is third.
Vance Williams pins Yario Okuna, who's 5 or 4 or 5 something, 3A Mount Carmel kid at 50. So I was just making sure Vance was up there.
Yeah, Vance is up there. And now we saw Vance and Hinton wrestle, right?
No, we didn't. Not this year.
Okay, so they haven't wrestled.
They bumped him up to 57 at the Vandalia duel.
Yeah. Yeah, so Vance got a pretty good win this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, those top 3 guys are going to be there.
The Vance has got some crazy hips, man. He's got crazy hips.
Yeah, if you were listening to the broadcast, on Friday we did it. Jim was making the clear understanding that he would be a phenomenal no-gi jiu-jitsu competitor. You just wouldn't be able to keep him down. He doesn't.
I talked to him about it at Offsides, not a sponsor yet. Afterwards, and I'm like, dude, man, I know you're a genius, but no-gi jiu-jitsu is your calling. Like you would frustrate everybody so bad.
Yeah.
He just looks comfortable in bad situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he comes out on top. So that's good for him. It's great.
If the Ferris wheel got stuck up top upside down, he'd be like a possum, just hanging. All right, hang out.
Yeah.
He'll roll through.
Yeah. Well, the rest of this weight class at 150 for the pit, though, again, this one might have been another weight class that didn't have as much depth, but 2 Coal City kids, so they must have had they must have had some space in this weight class. So Gianni Panozzo of Clifton Central gets third. Colton Cruz of Riverdale gets fourth. Kobe Brent of Leroy gets fifth. Trace Wilson of Coal City takes sixth. Noah Houston of Coal City takes seventh. And then Logan Baker of Petersburg Porter. So Coal City with 2 in this bracket.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you had your clear number 1 and number 2 here just by looking at, like, if you just looked at the entries at 150 or pull up the bracket, and so number one seed, number 2 seed met in the finals like they should, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yep.
I think Jackson Carroll's ahead of the pack. And we'll see what happens with him in Vance,
Yeah. He looked like it. All right, so number 157, Blake Smith, Briar Ivy. This was the first match of the finals. Blake Smith beats Briar Ivy 7-0. Just a controlled win.
See, I watched this match. I think Briar Ivy had a takedown that they didn't give him when they went by. I'm watching, like, so the left side, they were still there was room to wrestle, and they didn't give it to him. And I'm a Blake Smith fan. I'm a Heath Smith fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Port Byron fan because their initials are PBR. But it looked like Briar Ivy had a takedown. It really did.
You said what period do you remember?
First.
Okay, well.
And then there was over on the out of bounds line. Are you talking about the out of bounds line? They got under the wood.
It looked like Briar's whole waist, both of his legs and everything was still in.
Yeah, it was in the second period, and it was on the edge. And again, this is one of those situations where the new rule of wrestling on the edge is good. However, if the mat that they're wrestling on doesn't have enough edge space, once the athlete's body touches the floor, they have to stop it.
Right.
So in this situation, if you look at this mat, it's old enough, or whatever, they bought it the way that they did. There's only 3 feet off the circle. Yeah. So Briar Ivy, I mean, again, this is the luxury of
it looked to me like
right here.
This is perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, he's right on the edge. He doesn't have.
Okay. See, I didn't know that there was wood floor right there already. I thought there was more mat.
Yeah. So, this is just one of those situations.
Okay. What about? Can I point, or that won't work? You ain't gonna see where I'm pointing. towards the blue mat now, like directly behind the emblem, straight to the blue mat. Briar was in on a takedown. And they stopped it because he was bleeding. Yes or no?
Oh, okay.
He was bleeding quite a bit in that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what you're referring to. Briar during this match here?
He looked like he was in pretty deep, and they blew the whistle. And I'm assuming, I don't even think Briar stopped wrestling yet, because he just he's getting a takedown, so he keeps on wrestling. He's just thinking that's the mat next to him, and then they tapped him or whatever, and hey man, you're bleeding.
Yeah.
Let me.
I personally, I watched Blake Smith wrestle a couple matches before too, and he wasn't going out and being a complete killer.
You talking right here, Jim?
Just trying to win matches.
Yes.
Without pushing.
Yeah.
Because we all know Briar Ivy's really good in that waterfall position. And if you don't know it, we know it now. I think that's it. And Jason even told me when I talked to him on the phone, he says Blake wasn't 100% himself. He was wearing a kidney belt or whatever, something on his.
Yeah, he had a bandage wrapped up around him, and he didn't look like he was going to go score some points, and then he was going to just get through it, And
he just did enough to win.
Yeah, he might be banged up. He might be banged up a little bit. He didn't, put it on a board and tell everybody about it, which I wouldn't have either. But he just wrestled enough to win the match. Not take anything away from Ivy. He goes after it, but
yeah, I like Blake Smith's hand fighting. He does a really good job of he's long. He's got this is another match that's going to be seen again. Obviously, it will be at sectionals. Are they in the same regional as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Sectional.
I would think so, though. No, I
don't know
would.
about regional.
I mean, how many regionals feed in? 4 regionals feed in, and the ones out in Woodstock, out towards.
No, ours is in Marengo, and I have no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Marengo is over there, and then there's one down Erie Prophetstown area, right? Where
So
are
then
you guys at? Regional is at
Byron,
Stillman Valley.
or Stillman Valley, yeah. Yep.
Yes. So yeah, I feel like there's two regionals that I don't know about, but chances are they might be there.
Well, then if they're down there, then you'll have Blake, Breyer, and Goosens.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wow.
There's got to be one more. There's got to be 4 total, right?
No, I mean just those 3 are
Yeah.
making it out. I don't know who else is in that regional down there.
Watch this sequence. This is a great sequence, and I love that we can kind of pull it up. But again, Breyer attacks, but Blake Smith, very good chain wrestling to the corner. But Breyer Ivy does, great job
Good.
getting good defense. But this position right there, I think gives Blake the edge. Breyer taking a shot a little bit, maybe too aggressive. Obviously, it's 40 seconds left, so he's just trying to score. But yeah, I don't know. These guys are good. These guys are going to be towards the top of the podium, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because again,
Yeah.
here I'll show you again. This is right after that. Right after I talk to you, this is what he does again. He pulls him into that front headlock, chases that leg, and finishes the takedown. I mean, dude, that's textbook,
Yeah.
So either way, these guys were battling the whole time. I did think Blake Smith kind of had it, but
he's got that nice strong back too. Like he's not all hunched over when he shoots that single. He keeps it straight and he's tough there.
He's built like a wine glass.
Yeah,
like he's skinny from the waist down, and he's dude's huge up top.
He definitely has a great he looks like he has great leverage for that weight class.
He's a big ass 57-pounder.
Yeah. Third place in 157, Will Julian of Byron. Fourth place, Mason Garner, Coal City. Fifth place, Justin Zimmerman of Petersburg. Sixth place, Brock Owens of Leroy. Seventh place, Dade Kilinik of Vandalia. Eighth place, Braxton Kiefer of Litchfield.
Another bragger. You got a Coal City and a Vandalia kid.
Yeah.
What local wrestler? Obviously, the Byron kid, Will Julian, gets third place. You got, that's it. There's nobody else. Kind of.
We didn't have so here's. I thought just to do it, we got to give Will Julian some props here. It's like I'm not accused of being like this anti-Byron guy, but you beat the same guy twice, and that guy's not ranked.
Yeah, well, looking at the bracket, so how'd this work out? So Smith and Ivy were 1 and 2. Julian is wrestles Smith, loses 9-4. I mean, not a blowout. That's pretty good. Ivy wins 10-4.
Did you watch that match, Jason, or no?
Which one? The Blake Smith and
semifinal match, yeah.
With Blake Smith and Julian? Yeah. Julian wrestled very well. I'm just saying what I see. I see him wrapped up, with this wrap around his body, and I just did Blake Smith look good? Yes, but he didn't do any more than he had to win the matches.
Blake Smith, you're saying Blake Smith was wrapped up? He had some issues?
If you look back into it, there's a blue bandage wrapped around him into a singlet. You can see it underneath of his arm.
Okay.
So something was going on. I know it's not an excuse. I'm just saying he was banged up a little bit and still out there trying to get stuff done. So
yeah. Well, he did pretty good with it. Moving on, 65. Let's get through these. Daniel Kelly, Sterling Newman first over Brock Finch of Coal City by decision, 4-2. What do you guys remember this match?
I didn't see it. I didn't watch that one.
I mean, he kind of tried to stay in good position. Pretty tough kid. I think he was sitting out for a little bit, having some funk, and is just ready to wrestle. And he had a great match against or it was a good match against the Roxana kid. What's his name?
Tease.
Tease, yeah, in the semis, I think it was, and that was, he was trying to go for a big move, and he caught him and put him to his back at the end. But just staying in good position, hand fighting, and not really, just going in, knowing it's going to be a dogfight and getting through it. Is kind of looks like his mentality. The few matches that I watched on him, so
Yeah, just take a look, a little highlight of this. Just gets to a leg, kind of cracks down, finishes with a double, and gets the takedown.
Well, I remember watching that, and I'm pretty certain that Finch did not take one shot until the very end of that match when he almost had to, but he was very on the defensive wrestling. And if you want to win matches, you got to be the aggressor. You got to go after it. You got to wrestle your style. You can't just wait on the other guy. So
yeah. Well, here I'll give Rock Finch a little credit. He takes a shot in the second period, but
okay,
just gets stuffed with front headlock defense, and So
did he take any more shots other than that or not? Or is that the one you're talking about?
yeah, I mean, that was the one you were talking about. Never mind, you were right.
Yeah, that's
you
what
were
I
right.
thought.
That was the third
Brock
period.
Finch was the one that talked to his dad down at Dave's Rumble. Super cool guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, second place.
Yeah, well, first period, both guys were kind of, defensive. It was only 1-0 going into the second. So, but no, it was. Oh, so it was 1-0 going into the third.
You got that final.
Yeah. Yep.
So where did Teese?
So finishing this off, Lyndon Teese.
Teese had Kelly in the semis, obviously.
Yeah, Lyndon Teese of Roxana gets third. Casey Etheridge of Princeton gets fourth. Brody Stein gets fifth from Byron. Logan Toms of Clinton gets sixth. Cooper Miller of Gibson City takes seventh, and Arden Mustafa of Vandalia takes eighth. So
another Bragwood, Coal City, and Vandalia kids.
Yeah, and again, Lyndon Teese up until this weekend was the number one ranked at 165, and so that's going to change that. And Brock Finch, who did Brock Finch beat to get into the championship? So Finch beats Etheridge. Finch beats Etheridge, which, according to our rankings, was supposed to happen. So we didn't even get to see the matchup. Oh no, Kelly beat Teese 15-9. So that's good.
And and that was another one of those scenarios where you're talking about the mat and the venue, and they were right on the wall, and it was just it was like
you're talking Kelly versus Teese.
Yeah, tight quarters over down on mat 1, and it just against the wall, and it he got it, but I mean, it was just one of those situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How the hell did them guys end up on the same side of the bracket?
Well, I think the Princeton kid was undefeated, or no? Okay. So no, he's 24-2. Yeah, why? I don't know. Daniel Kelly was undefeated, 20-0, and Teese was 26-2. I don't know what the criteria was for seeding. It wasn't our rankings, that's for sure. But if
that is odd. That is odd that they were on the same side like that.
And,
I wonder how.
And Teese, his only 2 losses are at 75. I do know that.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. I guess I don't know, but so Kelly, Finch, Teese, Etheridge was ranked. Does Stein beat anybody ranked? Please tell me he does.
He does not. He does not. The 4 ranked guys finished
top 4.
Top 4. Yep.
And one of those guys he's from Princeton. One of them is from Princeton, or no?
Yeah, Etheridge, Casey Etheridge.
Okay.
He's the one who Stein would have had in Russellback quarters, if that's the thing.
Yeah.
Did you see that one or no? Because I looked at it and I saw the score and I thought, well, I don't like how the hell
What
did
was
that
that
happen?
score? What was it?
He got teched.
Yeah,
I
Tech
don't even know.
fall.
Yeah, I think the Princeton kid's pretty aggressive. I mean, I think
Yeah.
he's kind of a ball buster a little bit.
Yeah, he's physical. I mean, definitely a
Yeah.
physically mature kid. So
Yeah, I think that he kind of just came out there with something on his mind.
yeah.
I
Again,
remember.
he's a junior. Kelly's a senior. Tease is a junior.
Tease is a junior, really.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So, moving on. 175. This was a great weight class, returning state finals match. I do
Mute me for
believe.
1 second here, Dalton. I'll be right back. Just don't burn for 7 seconds. I got to talk to Bowden about Bowden, but I'll be right
I
back.
have no idea what you just said.
I'll be right back.
Where are you going? Yeah, we can pause. I can always edit it. But 175, Landon Benson, Coal City defeats Bowden Delaney of Tremont in the finals, 2-0. Yeah, close match. I don't know if you saw this one.
Now that I'm gonna tell you that I stepped out after that 150 and we got heading home, me and Jack. So I wanted to say
here's a little bit of it. Again, both kids pretty put together. They look like good athletes. Yeah, I mean, we could watch whatever we want. We could watch the whole damn match.
Now, who won
There's
it
a
last year?
2-0. Landon Benson.
Benson won it last year.
Yeah, Coal City
Okay, so
kid. He beat Delaney in the finals.
Okay.
I do believe.
Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, my bad. Okay. So it's going. But yeah, I mean, nothing really happened in this match. They just kind of hand fought, took some shots.
Pretty stingy wrestling, kind of, or
well, I think they know each other. They've wrestled each other
Yeah.
before. Obviously, if they're wrestling in the state finals, I mean,
right.
Yeah, it's just one of those places where
They know they're
people
gonna throw
tend
the
to, yeah, they tend to learn each other's, styles and
Mhm.
what they're doing. But let me see. Jim, Benson, Delaney, they were in the finals together last year, right?
Last year at 65.
At 65.
Yep.
I got you. All right. Yeah, so nothing really happens. 2-0 match. Obviously, they're 1-2 right now. And Blake Livedall of Richmond Burton gets third. Carson Thornton of Mount Zion gets fourth. Miller, fifth from Vandalia. Ben Geske from Sterling Newman, sixth. Alvarez of Byron, seventh. Owen Evans of Auburn, and eighth. Again, just
yeah, another bracket at Coal City and Vandalia. You kidding it?
Yeah. And again, Landon Benson's number 2, Delaney's number 4. I mean, as of right now, I think it just stays.
Who the hell did Livedall lose to? I already know.
Coal City. Coal City.
Okay, he lost to Benson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. He that was just like
5-3 semifinals.
Yeah, stingy match, and he was upset, after it. And I talked to his dad. His dad's a good dude, and I said, I said, is he pissed? And he said, yeah, he's pissed. I said, good, because that's going to motivate him. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what he did wrong. He's aware of it, and he's just going to work harder, and he's going to get through it. I think he's going to be somebody to pay attention to. You know what I mean? Especially after coming off a loss, he's not going to take it lightly, and he's going to get back to work. Not taking anything away from the Coal City kid. I think he was kind of caught off guard a little bit there. So we'll see what happens.
So as far as rankings go, Benson, Delaney, Livedall.
Yeah, it worked out exactly of order. I mean, we've got Angel Zamora at 3 and Ryan Rink at 5, and so until we see,
so the only one we're missing is Eli Larson in the top 5 in that group.
Yeah, again, we're gonna get to see Livedall versus Larson a few times. Well, maybe just sectionals, but Yeah, because Tremont and Coal City's not there. So, yeah, I've seen Livedall. I didn't get to see him wrestle this weekend. I didn't. I only had the finals broadcasted, but I saw him at Rockford East earlier in the year. So, yeah, these are close matches, and they can change quick.
Yeah.
Going on 190, Caden Tidwell of Vandalia defeats Maddox Anderson of Orion 11-3. And again, Anderson we had ranked third,
I did it
and
myself.
we had Tidwell at 4. So this is a switcheroo. Tidwell moves to number 3, I think, and Anderson's going to go down. So yeah, I got confused at first when I first started watching these guys because the way that their singlets looked, I was confused which one was which.
Color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
did
they
watch
gave
the match.
Vandalia red and they put green on Orion. I
Yeah,
believe
and
that's how. And it was like, that one's way more red because he had a lot of silver. I noticed.
Yeah, I got confused with it.
Remember when I was talking about Orion and Princeton having blue and white singlets, and Mark Stewart said no, they're red and black or they're red and white. They're in your bag. He thought I said Oregon. I thought about that. That was about a month ago. I said Orion and Princeton have similar singlets. That's why I'll get those two screwed up. They're white and blue, right?
No.
Both teams.
Orion's
No?
white and red. Princeton's like blue and silver.
I don't know where I ever got Orion being white and blue from.
No.
Who says Orion? Anybody?
I'm not above that. I might say that accidentally.
So that
again, this is one of the sequences that kind of separated the match right here. He got his arm stuck on underneath, and Tidwell trap arms and just kind of turks him over. So this kind of opened up the match a little bit for Tidwell.
Yeah.
So we're missing, and for 1A purposes, we'll leave out. Dixon's at 5th, so we're missing Hunter Easton and Jimmy, and there's your top 5, correct?
You're forgetting Oliver McPete at 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got Masney, Easton, Anderson, Tidwell, McPete. So I think we're gonna switch Tidwell and Anderson, but I think that match is a lot closer the next. I mean, again, it's a match that it could easily not be 11-3.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, a takedown and back points is 7 points. And
Mhm.
so if you just don't give up that one set of back points and you switch the takedown, I mean, yeah, it could that one could change towards the end of the year. 3rd place, Cade Poyer of Coal City. 4th place, Logan Van Dunn of Wilmington. 5th place, Will Howell from Dixon. 6th, Brody Orazo from Coal City. They came with 2 per weight class.
Is there not a Coal City kid that plays at every weight?
I'd have to check. Let me finish. Caden Becker, Mountain Zion gets 7th. Hunter Romano from Monticello gets 8th.
We can look at that. I will look at. We can look at team stuff on track. It'll have like the statistics pulled up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, yes. Yep. I mean, top 8. Lyndon Muth at 120. He got 8th, but I guess you still count it.
I mean, they placed 8th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one at 106.
Okay.
They didn't have one in 106. And
Well, they didn't have. Did they have somebody in the Ladowski's? Like, who did they have somebody fill in for him? Because he didn't wrestle.
oh, for the one.
Oh no, he'd be bigger. He'd be a.
No, I know he's not 106. I'm just. Did they?
Yeah, they
fill
had.
somebody?
They had Jason Piatak.
And he
of
plays
Coal
pretty
City.
well, didn't he?
We didn't place, but he.
Oh, he didn't place. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was the only weight class they didn't place.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what way were we talking about that he was a backup and he placed? Or we
Yeah,
assumed he
that's
was a
what.
backup? What weight was
that was where 38 where
Okay. Wildowski.
Ledowski, yeah, Glenowski. I think that's 38, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Widlowski, yeah. So that's 190. 215, Keller Stocks, Mount Zion defeats Dominic Alamo from Reed Custer in a fall. And yeah.
You already know what I'm seeing here. Coal City Vandalia. Placing at 215.
Yeah.
Coal City Kid takes third. Vandalia takes sixth.
Well, just sticking with the finals match, Keller Stocks, he was number 9, and Alamo was number 5. So
Okay.
that was a head-to-head top 10 matchup that is going to switch the
Who's
rankings.
our number 1 guy at 215?
Drake Chaplin.
Out of
I don't know.
Okay. Where's Dan? Is Dan French ranked at 215 or not?
Yeah, number 7.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
He had a good weekend.
He had a big weekend. So
Yeah.
I think, that Dan French, let's see who.
How often do you see a 215-pounder get stacked, though? Did you see that match? There were some very unorthodox moves getting used at that weight.
With stocks.
Yeah,
Maybe.
215.
Let me pull that up.
Does he good? I didn't see it.
Well, here's the thing. He was losing at first.
Yeah, you got to watch like the end sequence on it, and he
pull it up,
like,
Dalton, please.
I
That's
got
right.
It's pretty good.
Well, first look at the little size.
Yeah, Dominic came out and he was ready to go. I mean, they did the award ceremony and stuff, and I think for 5 to 7 minutes he stood with his foot on the line, ready to go. While it was all going down, I'm like, man, this guy's ready. So
yeah, if I were him, I would not put the legs in next time.
Yeah, but then there gets more. It even gets a little wilder than this.
So again, yeah, this situation turns into backs.
Mm-hmm.
And then a cradle.
Yep.
Does he get points? No points for the cradle. No, he does get. No, I would have gave him 2 there.
Yeah, there's definitely.
Well, this is where I like it at right here. He's like, "Come on, keep wrestling."
Okay, he went over the quarter Nelson, 3/4. Fun fact: when I was in kids wrestling, my nickname was Bullard 3/4.
Okay.
So he didn't even hook the leg.
Where's Keller Stocks from Mount Zion?
Yep.
But that is brutal. I mean, if you get that head down like he does, look, he just.
There's 16 seconds left, and he's like, "What do you want me to do, coach?" He's like, "Okay." Wham.
Yeah. What a great move! I totally forgot how awesome that move is. I got the bag too. I might still have the bag.
3/4. What they call you? 3/4 Bullard?
No, Bullard 3/4.
And not knew your height. It had nothing to do with your height. It was all 3/4.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Right. 3/4 of a foot, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I loved it. I did it the other way. So you know how he goes over the top? I would run a half and then reach underneath. And I think I don't know if they turned it into an illegal turn.
Probably
because it's
3/4 Bullard.
yeah. Because it's kind of like a full Nelson, but like you're underneath the guy. But yeah, what a pin. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I don't know. What do you think? You guys think that match could change the next time they wrestle?
Oh yeah, it definitely could. It just very seldom do you see that in at 215. You know what I mean? So that I just remembered it. I was like,
that makes me hope that do we see Mount Zion anywhere before the state tournament or not? Is there any chance in hell are they at the Illini Classic?
You say we?
Marion.
Okay, I don't know your schedule.
We're all brethren here.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good matchup. I don't think well, yeah, it would be interesting to see him versus French.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third place, John Keher from Coal City. Fourth, Shane Falaska from Richmond Burton.
Fourth place, I
Sixth,
have Tristan Staggs.
sorry, did I say that? Sorry, Tristan Staggs, fourth place from Litchfield. Fifth place, Shane Falaska from Richmond Burton. Sixth place, Swires from Vandalia. And Kemp from Dixon in seventh, and O'Connor, Clifton Central in eighth. So I think this was a 2-horse race kind of in this bracket. Looking at the finals, the semifinals, although I mean, it's tough. Stocks wins by major decision in the semis. Alamo wins 4-2. So I don't know, but okay, so he wrestled Stags, and Tristan Staggs was number 8. So Staggs was another ranked wrestler, and he finished 4th. So that Coal City kid, where's he from? He's okay. So Keher from Coal City, I think, is putting himself in the mix at 215.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I thought, coming into this, Reed Custer, the only Reed Custer kid I remembered was Colton Drinkwine at 106, which, of course, I, like a 106 expert for whatever reason, but I see Reed Custer showing up quite a bit here.
Yeah, they do. They did have a few. They had met. Well, the one had to wrestle Finch, but he was in the finals too.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I'll look this up, but where is Reed Custer? Do you know where that is, Jim?
It is Braidwood.
Braidwood? Oh, okay. By Kankakee.
Where the diamond is.
Okay. Oh, that's a pretty good all right. Yeah, that's a haul from here.
Braidwood's another power plant town.
Got it.
Correctamundo.
That's why they're getting good. They got that power coming through. That's why Jimmy's so good. He's living right next to a nuclear plant.
Yeah.
That water.
It's the raw milk Jason's giving them.
Yeah, straight out of the cow. Milk out of the cow.
Going into 285, finishing up, Colin Krause, Richmond Burton beats
unseeded, unranked,
beats Tate
unknown
Ziegler.
Colin Krause, man, good last name, good German last name, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I watched him in Richmond Burton when we wrestled Briggs, and he pretty aggressive, doesn't get in bad position, hand fighting. He kind of wrestles like a heavyweight should, in my opinion. He's not, going underneath, trying to take these crazy shots. He got on top of him and he turned him and pinned him. But a lot of hand fighting there, digging inside. Heavyweight sometimes isn't real exciting to watch, but they were doing the right stuff. And one of them broke. He got on top of him and he cranked him over and turned him. So, I've watched him a few times. I don't know if he's new to wrestling, if they got him to go out or if he's been around for a while, but yeah, he's starting to put all.
I had information on him and said, "Hey, watch this kid; he's going to be good." And I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at it, but yeah, I think he's been good for a while, just growing into it.
Yeah.
Look at that changeover. Gets to his feet. Yep. Man. Yeah, I think what you said, Jason, you're spot on. Like I watched this match and I was like, okay, he knows how to wrestle a heavyweight match. He controlled the edge of the match. The one time, right, in the second period, his butt goes out first. Otherwise, he actually does a really good job of keeping his butt in the center and controlling Tate Ziegler. So, it was a good heavyweight match, and he wins in the end.
Randy McPeak, I know we had him on there.
Well, just finishing off, let me run through these. Kate Odell from Princeton, 3rd. Randy McPeak from Dakota, 4th place. Darian Holloway from Stanford, 5th place. Jared Clunch of Byron, 6th place. Peyton Vigna of Coal City, 7th place. Dawson Thayer of Clifton.
Okay,
Clinton.
so this is the only one where I don't see a Vandalia kid.
Yeah.
But there's a Coal City kid.
Yeah. Yeah. McPete, did McPete wrestle Clunch?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
Like
he
at
did.
this tournament or this year?
This
They've
tournament.
wrestled. Yes, he wrestled him at this tournament and he beat him. It was 5-3, something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't
5-0.
5-0. Okay, sorry. He got on
Which-
top and he kind of.
Now, Jim, am I wrong? Did we say this heavyweight bracket, somebody's not going to state, right?
I think we figured this out because you have
We got Jason Dowell, Cade Odell, which Princeton, he got third. We got Jalen Torres, right? Isn't
Yep.
what's our Roy Phelps?
Roy Phelps.
Yeah,
no,
but Roy Phelps, yeah, he's
no,
not in there.
Chicago Hope's not in our
Yeah,
sectional.
I think
What?
it's Dowell and Torres.
Yeah,
I think Torres.
and then now throw Kraus in there.
Yeah, and now you got McPete and Clunch. So yeah, this is gonna be it's heavyweight.
Don't forget our heavyweight buckets. Caleb Ekman pins the Mount Carmel heavyweight.
Yep.
Beats the JCA heavyweight. Like buckets is.
Yeah, heavyweight's gonna be jam packed for that sectional.
We got Briggs Sellers from Oregon too, and it's like heavyweights. You never know what's going to happen. Get out of a bad position. They get in a bad position, and then sometimes it's done. So
and it's so much, like you said, it's so much about match strategy. If you don't put yourself in too many bad positions, I mean, it might just be a flip of the coin, come double overtime or whatever. So
who's got the gas tank and who stays in the best position? I mean,
yes, I like your guys's Briggs. He's got a good heavyweight. He looks strong, can move. So he puts together a good tournament.
If Briggs and I went to town, they'd card me before they card him.
Yeah.
Right. Like he
had chest hair in 5th grade.
Raw milk.
Raw milk. Yeah.
He's named after Briggs and Stratton. You know
what's
that,
Briggs
right?
and Stratton?
It's an engine, a small gas engine.
Okay.
His dad likes farm equipment and small engine stuff, and he's got a brother named Case, and they're all named after tractors and things like that.
Got a dog named Kohler.
He's a dog too.
Well, to finish this up, just going over through the teams, Vandalia gets first, 279. Coal City second, 272. And then third place was a distant third place, Richmond Burton.
Yeah, who won the tournament? Vandalia? I didn't even.
Vandalia,
Vandalia first, Coal City second. It's a 7-point difference in the team race. Richmond Burton is at 184 with third place, Sterling Newman, fourth place at 148 points. Dixon fifth. Princeton with Dixon tied for fifth. So I think Richmond Burton is moving up there too as far as 1A teams when it comes to top in the state. I wish they would have went to Abe's Rumble to see how that would have shaken out. But yeah, there'll be that's the team score. That was it. Any last thoughts on the weekend, you guys?
Well, it seems like you. Go ahead, Jim.
No, go ahead. Because I'm going to go off on a little tangent.
So you kept saying that Coal City had a lot of guys left, or there's always another guy. So it looks to me like Vandalia got some bonus points to secure that win, because I think there was more Coal City kids in the that placed out than what Vandalia had. It's just the ones made some bigger points for the team. So I don't know. It's good competition. I think the pit's it's a great tournament to be in if you can get in, and the venue kind of could be a little bit better. But I mean, sometimes
kind of what makes it the pit too, though, right? Like
that's what I was gonna say. That's what kind of makes it, and I'm sure if there's anything that Steve Amy could change to make it a little bit better, he would, because he did a real nice job down there. So.
Knock some walls down at the old gymnasium.
Well, that's what he did. He told me to get the wrestling room. He goes, they just let me have these 2 rooms, so we just knocked the wall down and opened her all up. And I'm like, that's awesome. So,
Yeah, improvise, adapt, and overcome.
yep.
Jim, yeah, finish it up.
Not a tangent. I'd like we kind of talked about in the beginning. Let's talk about because we're doing Pitt. So aside from Dixon, it's all 1A tournament. Let's talk about how good of a spot 1A wrestling's in.
Yeah.
Let's pay the devil their due, man. There's some
Yeah,
1As.
I agree. I think I mentioned it before. I'm not a 1A guy. I mean, there was only 2 classes when I was in high school, so I was only the smaller but bigger school, but not a bigger school being from Belvedere. But yeah, I mean, 1A right now, I think we talked about it last time. The sport is kind of growing, and the internet, obviously, stuff like this is helpful for just growth in general. But thinking about watching wrestling, you can watch as much wrestling as you want on your phone at all times. And I think that's incredibly important when it comes to, smaller schools having a lot of talent. Not to mention the off-season stuff. There's always tournaments. There's always national events. If you want to get better, you can get better. And yeah, I think the idea of being at a smaller school contributing to not as competitive, not in wrestling. I mean, if there's a kid with a will and a parent with a car, I mean, they can find a practice, they can find training, they can find competition, and yeah, I just think it's a perfect time for wrestling to get better at the smaller schools.
Yeah, and I mean, the number one team in Illinois right now is probably Montini 2A, right? On paper, aren't they? Didn't they? Aren't they beaten?
Well,
Aren't
I
they?
think they lost to Marmion at
Marmy, that's
the
all I
the
was gonna say.
Flavin.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I mean, I can
That's a
go.
good tournament too, man. They do a
Yeah.
nice job over there. Nice
Let
job.
let me let me do that real quick. But I'm pretty sure the
So I
Flavin.
so I was talking to Tyson Waddle, and I'm like, "Hey man, how you doing? Nice kid. He had a Wisconsin shirt on, and I was just talking to him, about wrestling and having a brother. And I'm like, hey, do you guys fight? And he's like, yes, we fight. And I'm like, he goes, man, our old house, you should have seen the walls. There was holes punched in them. And I go, well, who starts it? And he's like, well, my Preston, when he gets mad, then I got to go. You know what I mean? So I said, you guys spend a lot of time down there at Perler. And he's like, yeah. He goes, it's an hour and 45 minutes. So their mom or their dad or their friend's mom or their friend's dad, whatever, an hour and 45 minutes in the car down there, practice, an hour and 45 minutes back.
Yep.
And it's been going on for 5 years. It ain't like it just started yesterday. You know what I mean? Those kids putting the time in. And I think that's, a lot of things that go on throughout the state, not just Perler, but other places. And if you want to get better, you got to wrestle,
Oh yeah.
And I think that the 3-sport athlete is kind of, I don't want to say it's a thing of the past, but I mean, if you want to be good at wrestling, you got to focus on it,
The
period.
3-sport athletes is a thing of the past because the hockey moms and dads killed it. And here's why: hockey was so expensive to play that they forced you to play year round. You know what I mean? So that's where that all comes from. Like
Yeah.
I think the three sport now you say that and look at Daniel Kelly, Newman kid,
Yeah.
stud
Yeah.
baseball players. Just
There are the freaks, you know what I
yeah.
mean? There are freaks out there but I mean,
There
all
is
of them.
also a difference between being highly competitive and then like the top tier. The top
Yeah.
tier, dude. When you think about the reaction time of the certain technique and positions, I mean, it's hard to not constantly be working on that. You know, yeah, it's tough to be. But I mean, yeah, I mean,
I
anybody who's motivated to work as hard as I mean, you got to figure out if you can put in the work, you can do a lot of different things. Um,
Yeah.
you know, but it is hard if you only have so much time and energy and you're not going to, do 2 practices and do, whatever practice football or whatever the hell thing that it is that you're trying to do as well. You have to find a way to be a grappler most of the year. It's very hard not to.
Yeah.
But Jim, I was going to say, I looked up Marmion beat Montini in the championship bracket 38-30.
And
So
Mount Carmel beat Marmion.
yeah, and then Marion beats Mount Carmel. So
we're,
I'm gonna.
we're the best.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Vandalia is the best.
Vandalia is the only one that
Vandalia
hasn't
is the
lost.
best.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go back and look at the lineups and see if they were the same. Because what's crazy is, well, Marmion's lineup this weekend is probably the most like up to date lineup, right? Because that's where Stewart's in and everything, right?
Yep.
So Stewart hasn't wrestled since Ironman, so this was the first weekend. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, Vandalia's right there, and Marion's right there, and Coal City's right there. So yeah,
When
single lane.
When are we going to do 1A team rankings?
I think we just did them.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because team rankings are a little harder because, like, if you look at the team tournament, what if team rankings were based off of team tournaments? Like, that's interesting to me because, like you said, Coal City has all those guys place. Their points, are adding up because of that. Where some teams have, 5 really stud kids, and maybe the other, what is that, 7 or
Did
8?
you
I
say
gotta grab. Hold on, I gotta grab. I'll be right back. I gotta grab Bird. She's squeaking.
did you say that Coal City had a couple kids at weight classes or no?
Yeah, so they must have brought extra. Like some tournaments do that if they don't have a full tournament.
But you can't use that for
No, they don't get those points. Yeah,
yeah.
they only get 1 point getter
Per yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, team rankings, like, how about in regionals when you get those teams that win the regionals, then you could break that down and see what you have there that made it to that next step. Then you could kind of break that down. I mean, lineups are changing, and it's kind of tough, And there's there's a lot of teams that are better tournament teams than they are head to head, or vice versa.
Agreed. That's kind of what I'm saying is, like, what is a tournament? What is a team? Is a team a tournament? Like, or is it a duel? Because the duel, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. It's kind of a mixture. There's 2. If you wanted to make rankings for teams, you'd have to make 2 sets: one for dual meets, one for tournament.
Yeah,
I think it sometimes works out the same, but oftentimes there's different advantages.
Well, what about when they used to do the state tournament and the individual scores would add up for the team, and that would win long time ago? That would change things tremendously. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they still. You can do it now with track. You can add points up and stuff like that. So I'll try to do that this year. But
Bird
just to kind of see where it lays out, and that would be kind of neat actually to know.
Yeah.
She was squeaking in the box, like, because she lays on top of the log splitter when I'm in here, and she's squeaking. So I let her out, and as soon as I opened the door, I could hear the coyotes ripping down by Jason. So she's on her way to your house.
Sweet.
She took off. You can hear her.
All right, guys. Well, I think that was a successful show. Appreciate you guys coming on, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.